According to multiple reports from Russian media outlets, one of Russia's scarce Su-57 fifth-generation stealth fighters crashed near Moscow, marking another setback for the country's flagship combat aircraft program. The Russian Ministry of Defense confirmed the incident in a brief statement, saying that a training combat aircraft crashed during takeoff in the Moscow region and that the pilot ejected safely. Notably, the ministry refrained from identifying the aircraft involved. The omission is widely viewed as a deliberate attempt to avoid drawing attention to the loss of one of Russia's most advanced and limited production fighter jets. Although aircraft accidents are an unavoidable reality of military aviation, where high-performance aircraft routinely operate at the limits of their design envelopes, there is more to it. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why Su-57 going down reinforces the pathetic state of the jet program. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted and fastest VPN brand that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte. NordVPN provides a 256-bit encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy and also enables you to access contents that are blocked based on geolocation. Its threat protection system helps you avoid phishing, scams, and malware. NordVPN application is available for all the major platforms as well as browsers. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive saving by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The Sukhoi Su-57 is Russia's premier fifth-generation, twin-engine, multi-role stealth fighter designed to perform both air superiority and precision strike missions. Developed by Sukhoi under the PAK-FA, Prospective Airborne Complex of Frontline Aviation, program, the aircraft is intended to replace legacy platforms such as the Su-27 and complement the Su-35 in Russian Aerospace Forces service. It also represents Russia's response to U.S. fifth-generation fighters, most notably the F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II. Although many aspects of the aircraft remain classified, Russian defense officials and Sukhoi representatives have stated that the Su-57 combines low observable characteristics with exceptional maneuverability, sustained supersonic cruise without afterburner, and an extensive use of composite materials to reduce weight and radar signature. The aircraft is also equipped with an advanced avionics suite featuring sensor fusion, an active electronically scanned array, AESA radar, and sophisticated electronic warfare systems designed to enhance situational awareness and survivability. The Su-57 prototype conducted its maiden flight on January 29, 2010, becoming the country's first frontline combat aircraft specifically designed with low observable technologies as a core feature. To minimize its radar cross-section, the Su-57 carries the majority of its air-to-air and air-to-surface weapons within internal weapons bays, eliminating the need for externally mounted stores during stealth missions. Many of its sensors and antennas are carefully integrated into the airframe to preserve the aircraft's low observable profile, while radar-absorbent materials and edge-aligned structural features further reduce its detectability by hostile radar systems. If confirmed that the aircraft involved was indeed a Su-57, the incident would represent the second non-combat loss of Russia's flagship fifth-generation fighter. While that number may appear small in absolute terms, it must be viewed in the context of the program's limited scale. Open-source estimates indicate that only about 32 Su-57s have been produced, with roughly 20 believed to be combat-ready. So, about 6% have been lost. By comparison, the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II program has recorded 13 aircraft lost in accidents out of approximately 1,340 aircraft delivered worldwide. This equates to a loss rate of less than 1% of the total fleet, despite the F-35 accumulating well over 1 million flight hours while operating across numerous air forces in a wide range of operational environments. The F-35 program currently reports a Class A mishap rate of approximately 1.5 per 100,000 flight hours. A Class A mishap is defined as an incident resulting in the destruction of an aircraft, a fatality, a permanent disabling injury, or property damage exceeding $2 million. For additional context, The U.S. Air Force's fleet-wide average across all aircraft types is approximately 2.02 Class A mishaps per 100,000 flight hours. Assuming an average utilization of 120 flight hours per aircraft per year, a conservative estimate for a frontline combat aircraft, the entire Su-57 fleet would have accumulated roughly 13,000 flight hours by the time of this latest accident. Under that assumption, two Class A mishaps would translate into an estimated 15.4 Class A mishaps per 100,000 flight hours. This is 15 times that of F-35. Even if a more generous utilization rate of 160 flight hours per aircraft annually is assumed, the estimated mishap rate would remain substantially higher than that of the F-35 and well above the U.S. Air Force fleet average. The Su-57's most significant export opportunity was India. In 2007, New Delhi partnered with Moscow under the fifth-generation fighter aircraft FGFA program to jointly develop an Indian variant of what would eventually become the Su-57. Beyond providing India with a next-generation fighter, the partnership was expected to finance a substantial portion of the aircraft's development while ensuring a large production run that would reduce unit costs for both countries. However, the program gradually unraveled as India became increasingly dissatisfied with the aircraft's technical features. In 2018, after investing hundreds of millions of dollars in the program, India formally withdrew from the FGFA project, depriving Russia of both a major development partner and its most promising export customer. Following India's exit, Moscow turned its attention to Turkey. After Ankara was removed from the F-35 program over its acquisition of the Russian S-400 air defense system, President Vladimir Putin personally showcased the Su-57 to Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan during the 2019 MAX Air Show. Russia hoped to position the aircraft as an alternative to the F-35, but the effort failed to gain traction. Beyond India and Turkey, Russia actively promoted the Su-57 to several other potential customers, including the United Arab Emirates, Vietnam, Iraq, China, Algeria, Iran, and North Korea. Despite years of marketing efforts, Algeria remains the only country to have placed a confirmed order for the aircraft. Most of these rejections are due to technical reasons. As per some reports, the Russian Su-57 has an RCS of 0.05 square meters, which makes it around 500 times larger on the radar when compared to F-22 and at least 10 times larger when compared to F-35. Even within Russia, several defense analysts have expressed reservations about the aircraft's stealth performance. Russian military analyst Vladimir Tuchkov has argued that the Su-57 does not fully satisfy the conventional characteristics expected of a fifth-generation fighter, particularly in terms of low observability. He has pointed to the exposed engine nozzles, which are not deeply integrated into the airframe, as well as the aircraft's comparatively lower use of radar-absorbing composite materials, both of which increase its radar signature. Similarly, Russian defense analyst Alexei Ram has observed that the Su-57 possesses a larger radar cross-section than the F-22, making it more detectable by modern air defense radars. Beyond stealth, the Su-57 continues to face challenges in propulsion. The majority of production aircraft remain powered by the Saturn AL-41F1, an upgraded derivative of the engine used on the Su-35. It was always intended as an interim solution, rather than the definitive power plant for the aircraft. The engine does not fully deliver the performance originally envisioned for the Su-57, particularly with regard to sustained supercruise, the ability to maintain supersonic flight without engaging fuel-intensive afterburners. The long-awaited AL-51F1 A30 engine is expected to address many of these shortcomings through higher thrust, improved fuel efficiency, reduced infrared signature, and enhanced supercruise performance. However, the transition remains incomplete. While Russian officials have indicated that the first AL-51F1 equipped Su-57s have entered service, most aircraft delivered to date continue to use the older AL-41F1, suggesting that large-scale production and fleet-wide integration of the new engine have yet to be achieved. The Su-57's limited operational presence during the war in Ukraine provides insight into the current state of Russia's fifth-generation fighter fleet. Given its intended role as Russia's premier stealth aircraft, the Su-57 would have been expected to spearhead deep penetration missions against heavily defended targets, suppress advanced air defense networks, and establish air superiority over contested airspace. Instead, its employment has been highly restricted, with the aircraft generally operating from Russian airspace and launching long-range standoff munitions rather than conducting sustained operations deep inside Ukrainian-controlled territory. The fact that Russia has only around 20 partially combat-ready airframes reinforces the notion that the platform has a long way to go. Russia originally expected the Su-57 to enter serial service in 2018 to 2019, but repeated technical and production delays slowed the program almost from the outset. In 2019, despite those setbacks, President Vladimir Putin dramatically expanded the procurement plan from 16 to 76 aircraft, with deliveries scheduled for completion by 2028. However, production has consistently lagged behind those ambitions, leaving the Russian aerospace forces with a fleet far smaller than originally envisioned. The contrast with the Lockheed Martin F-35 Lightning II is particularly striking. As of today, 20 countries have either purchased or placed confirmed orders for the F-35. Beyond the United States, 19 sovereign nations have independently evaluated the aircraft against competing alternatives and committed substantial defense budgets to its acquisition. No other fifth-generation fighter has achieved a comparable level of international acceptance, making the F-35 the most widely adopted advanced combat aircraft in modern history. Operational experience has further reinforced the F-35's reputation. During Operation Epic Fury, coalition forces struck more than 13,000 military targets, including missile launch sites, integrated air defense systems, command and control facilities, weapons depots, naval assets, and other critical military infrastructure. Throughout the campaign, U.S. and Israeli F-35s were routinely assigned the most demanding strike missions deep inside heavily defended airspace. Exploiting their low observable design, advanced sensor fusion, and sophisticated electronic warfare capabilities, the aircraft penetrated dense integrated air defense networks to locate, identify, and engage high-value and time-sensitive targets that would have posed considerably greater risks to conventional fourth-generation fighters. Equally noteworthy is the aircraft's survivability. There is no confirmed case of an F-35 being destroyed by enemy action, only a combat damage incident. It's clear that Russia has a lot of catching up to do.